All right. After installing Focus OmniTweet and connecting it to the Twitter API, you're still going to be on your settings page here in the admin, and you're going to want to choose your operational settings before you get started. Okay, there's only two options here. This is going to be a pretty quick deal. So the first one is your tweet display and retrieval limits. What that means is basically how many tweets appear on your timeline. This is your timeline page, and however many you've chosen to show, that's how many will display before you see a load more tweets button. If you got like 10,000 tweets, you can click this button till you pass out. That's how you can load more tweets. The reason this setting is the way it is, it's to basically determine how quickly your pages are able to load. If you want to have like 1,000 tweets show at once in your timeline page is going to be very, very slow. If you post a lot of pictures from your mobile device, when you're out and about and you're posting to Twitter or whatever, if you post a lot of pictures, your timeline page is going to get pretty slow because those pictures are very big and that requires a lot of information to be downloaded for your page to load. So if you post a lot of pictures, you might want to change this display retrieval limit away from the default, which is 100, to something more like 10 or 20, something like this. But if you mostly tweet text, you can increase this number if you like, or just leave it at 100 and you probably won't have an issue. But bottom line, you'll want to change this if you start noticing that page being very slow. If it becomes slow, you might try playing with this to see if you can reduce the number of tweets that show and speed up the page. The idea is that you just load up a lot less stuff and that makes the page faster. So that's pretty self-explanatory. The next one is thread page mode, and this is sort of interesting. This is a little bit in the weeds. This is for people who are really into the SEO, search engine optimization of their sites, and also the organization of their sites. So basically, whenever you create a thread in OmniTweet, you've got your tweets here, you've created a thread, and it'll tell you, hey, you've got a thread here, show thread, tweet thread 33. We go over and look at that thread page, and we see that the URL of that page is phpwn.com, or this is yoursite.com /OmniTweet, which is the default slug for the timeline page /thread 33. So your timeline page is /OmniTweet. This thread page is /OmniTweet /thread 33. This is actually the children mode, where the threads are children of the OmniTweet timeline page. So this is if you want every thread to be a child of your OmniTweet timeline page, you would want to choose the children setting. Now, I don't actually recommend this. I recommend using the standalone setting unless your site has a ton of pages. I'm talking like thousands of pages. So if your site has a ton of pages, you may want to choose the children mode. That way your URLs of your threads are guaranteed to never conflict with any other URLs that currently exist on your site. And also within the admin, it can be handy within the WordPress admin. Let's check it out. If you look at your lists of pages, if every thread page is a child of the timeline page, you can just locate the timeline page and then you'll see every thread underneath here. This is a handy way to go back in and edit thread pages later if you want to edit SEO details on any of them or whatever. If you use the children thread page mode, it's going to be really easy to find all of those threads in here in the page view. If you use the standalone mode, which is, again, the mode I recommend, it's best for SEO, it's the most succinct. So if you use this mode, instead of having /OmniTweet /thread 33, it's just going to be yoursite.com /thread 33. Again, this is the standalone mode. It's my preferred mode, but I just want you to understand the consequences there. If you use this mode, you will not be able to access your pages in the same way. They will still all show up here in your, list of all your pages, but you'll have to hunt for the ones that you want if you want to access them this way. Now, I don't even do this. I just use the bar at the top and hit edit page when I'm on the page when I'm visiting my site. I'm not actually displaying it right now to add more room in my video, but most of you, if you log in, you're browsing around your WordPress website, you'll see a top bar here, and it will have an edit post button, and boom, you can just edit the thread page there. You can also use this little link within Focus to edit your thread pages that way. So it's really not that consequential. This idea about being able to click in on the list of all your pages, I don't really care that much about that. But you might, I don't know, depending on the way your site is set up. So I wanted to throw that out there so you understood the difference between standalone thread page mode and children thread page mode. Again, standalone is the default. It's what I recommend. So I would just stick with that and click save here, and you'll be good to go. But again, if you want to switch that to the child mode, no problem. You can do that too. All right. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions, pop over in the forums and I will help you out. Thank you.